head again. You had your heart set on me, but these feels, they come and go, and they come so easily.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the VoskCoin YouTube channel. I'm Boss. This is Tails, and today we're going to be talking about the new Nvidia 1650. We're going to touch on the gaming performance because I feel like that's something I've left off a little bit in videos of the past on the channel. But if you don't know, this is the VoskCoin YouTube channel. It's cryptocurrency focused, and the focus of this video will be mining. If you're a gamer and you stumbled onto this video, well, please understand, don't hate miners just because we're mining cryptocurrency and we're really making great use of our graphics cards, and also quite often using them for gaming and video processing and all multitude of other tasks. But we're trying to usher in, whole financial revolution and liberate ourselves from banks. Or, well, I guess I'll stop there. You're either pissed off that I'm a miner or you're interested. If you're interested, stick around. If you're pissed off, well, I don't know what to tell you, man. Maybe move out that mom's basement. Gaming this, gaming that. Well, what is the actual gaming performance? Well, I'll sum it up quickly for you guys. Here's some footage of the 1650 gaming, and well, it's not the best news for this card. Basically, they are trying to beat a 3-year-old card that's going to be the AMD RX 470, which is refreshed with the 570, which is again basically the same graphics card there, which is historically one of the best cards for mining ever, especially if you bought it early as opposed to later. But my point is just that we have a graphics card coming out today that is either performing the same or worse on almost every video game played from against a graphics card that is 3 years old. 3 years old, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, and I'll leave it at that. Let's get back to mining. Speaking of all this cryptocurrency stuff, thanks to an awesome furry donor out there. There is a giveaway. So all you have to do is enter your Ethereum address on a comment on this video below, as well as your ideal or preferred video length for YouTube videos. So say you wanted this video to be 10 minutes long. That's kind of like the length more or less you enjoy watching. We would love to know that here on the channel. So please comment that and you'll be entered to win. All of the winners are chosen the following month after the video goes live. So let's say, it's the end of May. At the end of June, the winners will be chosen and that cryptocurrency will be sent out there on the blockchain, which is immutable and pretty cool stuff if you're not familiar with it. So let's talk, basic numbers and specs on this rig. So we have the GTX Geforce, Nvidia, all this fancy stuff. We got a 1650, boys. Okay, we have a 1650. And what this does is it mines cryptocurrency or plays video games or does whatever else a graphics card does. It's a multi-purpose device. That is what is so cool about a graphics card that has again to say it again, multitude of uses. This card right here has a TDP of 75 watts. There is a better EVGA version that I didn't realize until I already had this thing, that has a higher TDP of about 85 to 90 watts, which is the SC Ultra version, which I wish I got in and should perform a little bit better for gaming as well as mining, because more power means we're going to be able to push higher overclock, which means we should be able to get better performance on, again, gaming and mining. One of the biggest draws of the 1650 is that some of the models do not need a PCIe connection. However, the model we're using today does need one, and the EVGA model we just referenced does need one. Okay, it's going to depend again on that TDP and the way it's designed and so forth. But that can be very useful if you've got an older PC and you want to upgrade it. But anyway, the point is just that is useful when it's useful. For the case of a mining rig, that's useful for, say, you could power your PCIe risers, so you have the risers and their PCIe power connection. You could just power them with your PCIe cables. You don't need splitters. You don't need to run, SATA cables or Molex cables, which are not ideal for mining. And then you're having a safer build with less wires. We've actually had a couple builds like that in the past, like we did with the 1050 Ti, which was a really fun build and really simple and easy, and the wire management was a dream because, well, you're running basically half the cables. This graphics card comes with a whopping, and when I say whopping, I mean like a whopper that they forgot to put the hamburger patty on it. So not very whopping, 4 gigabytes of memory, right? So that didn't sound too bad like 3 years ago when the RX 470 came out that pretty much beats this card in every category. Oh, spoiler, sorry. The 4 gigabytes, it's not really acceptable today, in my opinion. We got a new card. We really should be pushing that 6 gigabyte minimum boundary. I mean, they're doing it with the 1660. They're doing it with the 1660 Ti. But if they did it with this, well then why would you buy the 1660? There's got to be some more things differentiating it. So they took 2 gigabytes of memory off of the chip's capabilities. So that is going to limit you with gaming a bit, but more importantly, it's going to definitely impact your mining performance. There are a lot of coins that we couldn't even mine because it does not have enough memory. And again, I've said this in previous videos, but I'll say it again. The way mining algorithms are trending is that we are going more and more memory heavy. It's going to create ASIC resistance. On the topic of ASIC miners, I would like to thank today's video sponsor, Scott Offord, who is a bulk ASIC miner reseller and broker. So if you want to buy a farm or sell a farm, he's going to be the guy that you want to talk to. It's not as simple as just increasing memory creates ASIC resistance, but it is an integral part of it. And what exactly is an ASIC? It's an application specific integrated circuit miner. Okay, an ASIC miner. They are these purpose-built machines that all they do is mine a specific mining algorithm. And if that comes out for the algorithm that your graphics card is on mining, then it will blow your graphics card out of the water, because this is a multi-purpose device. Think a jack of all trades. That's great. But when someone specialized comes out, well, see ya. We're going to go with the specialist because they are going to have a higher hashing performance, and their power consumption compared to that hash rate will be lower. And Tails just like me, and she's beautiful, and I love Tails, and you better love Tails too if you're on the channel. As far as the price point for this graphics card we've been talking about, again, you'll get it for about $150 to $170 depending on the model. You go for that nicer EVGA version, well, you're going to be paying a little bit more. And when you start to pay $170, you start to look at all the other graphics cards you could get around that price range. Me personally, I would absolutely be springing for a 1660 or a 1660 Ti, and that would be for gaming or mining. We're gonna have a really cool mining showdown coming up soon on the 1660 versus 1660 Ti, and those cards are really battling for some of the best bang for buck mining graphics cards, up there with the 2070 and 2060 as well. Again, that's a whole different video, a lot of numbers to crunch, a lot of stuff to show you guys, but today's video is supposed to be focused on the 1650. So I prepared a spreadsheet going over the hash rates, comparing them, and then we're going to look at the profitability on the correlating mining algorithms. So then run the test. You can see we've got it here on the good old try miner behind us. And let's go ahead and bring you over to the screen capture portion of this video to check it out. All right, guys, let's jump straight into it. I'll have a quick article associated in the video description below that you can click, and you can jump to these stats. You know, just take a screenshot of my chart here, just a reference. But anyway, let's get to it. So we have stock hash rates and efficient hash rates. The overclock was not changed from any of these algorithms, other than, you know, these two different basically overclock settings. We had a static fan speed of 70% the entire way with both algorithms, or with both overclock settings. I mean, the power was monitored with the Wemo power adapter. It looks like this. It's super awesome. I really like the app, and it tracks the cost of these miners as well, which can be really super useful. I've linked to get that in the video description below if you want. And again, it was done on my Tri miner. It was only one 1650 graphics card for all of this testing, and you know, nothing was changed. It was the exact same setup across the board, so power usage should be pretty consistent. Getting the Ravencoin hash rate is obviously difficult. I let both of them run for more or less 12 hours each, and pretty consistent results with a very different power consumption on that. But let's go ahead and we'll go down the list. So with the stock hash rates, we got 15 mega hash a second on Ethereum at 59 watts. Nothing to write home about here. We also had the efficient hash rate. We had the same, you know, mega hash a second performance there, but we dropped the power consumption a good bit. Very good increase, you know, within benchmarking against itself, but against other cards, nothing to write home about. When it comes to mining Monero, it's just never been really worth it with Nvidia cards in the last couple of years. To be honest, I didn't even benchmark it. If you want to try to prove me wrong, I'd be glad to send you a Bitcoin, but it's never worth it. It's just not. It's just not. Then we have Zcoin, not enough memory. Then we had Grincoin, not enough memory. And that's kind of what I was talking about earlier in the video. 4 gigabytes is not going to be enough memory to join the party on some of the coins with newer mining algorithms / newer coins, you know, normally. We also have Beam, which originally you could not mine 4 gigabyte cards, but there have been solvers that have come out that are able to utilize cards down to 3 gigabytes. With that, we were able to mine Beam, and on the stock settings, we've got 7.5 sols a second, and on the efficient settings, we got about 7.5 sols a second. But a very big increase in power consumption again, and less power used. It's also less heat created. It's better across the board, whether you're an at-home miner or a big farmer. Then we have Ravencoin X16R mining algorithm. We're using the T-Rex version 11 miner. We got about 9 megahash a second, like we said earlier, on both settings, with a, again, big decrease in the power consumption using the efficient settings. Then we also mined Bitcoin Gold, which is Equihash 144.5. That also counts for other coins like Zcash and Snowgem we've talked about here on the channel before. I know Zcash is moving to a different mining algorithm here soon, so you know, check that out when it happens. But the point is that it got about 22 sols a second at 70 watts on the stock settings. We lost half a sol and a massive decrease in power consumption by moving to the efficient settings. Again, a great move, but you'll see when we get to the profitability here in a second how interesting this really is or is not. Then we have Aeon, which is another different version of Equihash. We use Gminer 144 on this. We got 100 sols at 68 watts on the stock settings, and we got 95 sols at 45 watts on the efficient settings. These are all Equihash based, Beam, Bitcoin Gold, Aeon. So it's no surprise that their numbers are relative for power consumption, but they're different versions. That's why their sols per second hash rates are different. These sols do not transfer as far as, you know, if it does 100 sols on this, it'll do 100 sols on Bitcoin Gold. They're different Equihash versions. How does this translate out to profitability? Well, if you're paying 12 cents per kilowatt hour, like I personally am, then this is what your profitability is going to look like. Surprise, surprise, somehow Ethereum, which is plagued with ASIC miners, which we talked about here earlier, they're still the most profitable coin to mine with this, and that is very scary because you can get so much more RX 570 and 470s, you know, dollar per dollar compared to this card to mine this coin if like that's what you're going to go after. Just doesn't make sense at all. All right, sorry guys, I forgot to adjust the volume filter here on what to mine, which what to mine is a reputable calculator for, you know, putting out your mining profit, but again, it's just today, right now, not what it's going to be like tomorrow or in 2 weeks, whatever. So there's obviously a huge amount of risk and just variability that takes place here. But I put the volume to greater than 1 Bitcoin, so we see coins with some volume, things you can actually sell if you want to. And with that, the first coin to come up on Zhash, which is the Equihash 144.5 that we talked about, right? So Zhash is Bitcoin Gold, and you're gonna be making 14 cents a day, which is significantly less than just mining Ethereum, which this card is not good at. And then we come down, we get down to Beam, that'll be the next profitable option. And then finally we've got Ravencoin, which we would lose money mining, but keep in mind that X16R is a combination of 16 algorithms, and I wanted to take a safe bet when estimating the mining performance of the 1650. But I could double it or triple it. We'd still probably be losing money. All in all, we've got a graphics card here that is beat out by the RX 470s and 570s, not only in gaming, but also in mining. The RX 570 is just a better choice when it comes to this. If the most profitable thing for you to mine is Ethereum, then you may as well get an RX 570, which with a decent BIOS mod and overclock, they're getting 28 megahash a second all day. Some people are going to brag about how they get 32 and whatever. I've gotten plenty to 30 and 31 before, and 32 here and there. But anyway, I'm getting a little sidetracked. My point is just that the verdict here, guys, is that the 1650 sucks. It just sucks. You know, it's cool for applications where you don't need a PCIe connection, but I just wish that Nvidia would have come out with something that was interesting. Again, we borrowed a little bit from Gamers Nexus earlier, and to take a quote from them, this is dead on arrival. It's DOA. It's a graphics card that, when it came out, it's just not even worth it. For mining, for gaming, I don't even know if it's worth it to make this a video. So with all that said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, please make sure to subscribe to the VoskCoin YouTube channel. I'm chasing 100K. I hope to get there one day, eventually, maybe. Also, hit the thumbs up on the video. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you liked. Let me know what you didn't like. And I'll see y'all next time. I'll be holding